Hi again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of RVBusiness Capital Talk, sponsored by the Dicor Corporation. I'm Rick Kessler. With me, as always, Sherman Goldenberg, and we're with RV Business. And joining the two of us today is Dick Grymonprez. Dick's the Director of Park Model Sales for Skyline Champion and a very familiar figure in the RV industry. Dick, thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
Go ahead, Rick.
I want to start with just an overview of Skyline Champion. It's headquartered in Troy, Michigan. It's if people don't know, it's a pretty big deal. $2.2 billion in sales, 42 manufacturing facilities in Canada and the US, something like 8,700 employees, of which park model RVs are not a big percent, but it's certainly a sizable percentage of that overall business. Dick, how about a quick overview of the park model business for Skyline Champion?
Well, I mean, let me ask real quick. The lion's share of the company's gross revenues, just to set the record straight, is housing, right, Dick?
That is correct. Yeah, we are, a manufactured housing company. We have 11 plants that build park model RVs. We also build manufactured housing at most of those plants. And then we have a few plants that build modular housing as well. So, we are mainly a manufactured housing company, but park models have continued to grow within our company. And I think our company supports the park model business as we're opening a new plant in Laurinburg, North Carolina. And we've got a couple facilities that we're actually putting up that are very large facilities that we're putting a park model line in both Chandler, Arizona and Corona, California, that will build just park model RVs down a separate production line inside our factory. So our company's putting a lot of money into it, and we seem to be very positive on the growth in the park model industry.
The numbers nationally over the past year, for sure, do support that statement, don't they, in terms of park model sales?
Yeah, I mean, park models are a very, very small part of the RV business. So, a great year for park model sales is 5,000 units. So, but where the whole industry, RV industry, is down a little bit this year. I believe we're up like 15% as an industry. So we're doing very, very well. And I think our company is going to grow a whole bunch next year.
Why?
Yeah. Well, we've got a couple things happening. Our Leola, Pennsylvania plant had paused the park model build this last year. They were building about 400 park models a year for us, and they basically got out of the park model business for a year. They're back in it. And so I expect them to get back selling a lot of park models. With our new plant in Laurinburg, North Carolina, that is a big park model area in the Southeast that serves Florida and Georgia and North Carolina, South Carolina, even up into Pennsylvania and West. They're going to be full-blown park model facility there for us. So that should be a lot of park models. And then our Mansfield, Texas plant continues to grow their park model business. And we're building like 3 a day park models out of that plant now. So for our company, I think this next year is going to be a very, very good year.
Where does the bulk of these wind up? In what kind of formats throughout North America? Campground?
Well, yeah, first off, our company at this time is not building a CSA approved park model. So we are not shipping to Canada at this time. So all of our business is within the United States. And about 40% of our business right now is sold to dealers. Park model dealers, RV dealers, even a few manufactured home dealers may sell park model RVs. But 60% of our business, and I think the biggest growth, is on the campground and resort industry. I actually was a guest speaker at the National Campground Convention in November, and it was like a sellout. And there's so many campgrounds that realize the value of having park models in their campgrounds as rentals. It's just a huge growth part for us.
Dick, is that campground opportunity? Is that the reason why park model segment has been able to buck the trend and do well year over year?
For us, it is. I think the reason the park model business is up this year is that all of our even our competitors, everybody pretty much has pretty good backlogs this year, park models. So everybody was building, as many as they could. And we've had a couple new manufacturers come in this year. So I think some of that, all that together, but for our company, the largest growth has been in that business. We do a lot of business with the big REITs like Sun Communities and Equity Lifestyles. And there's other big real estate REITs that are, we're talking with now about buying park models. And then just the normal, privately owned campgrounds, they're just realizing that, they can make, this amount of money on a pull-through space, but if they turn it into a rental park model space, that in getting the hospitality business, they can double, even triple their income off that one space. So, that business is really, really developing right now.
We've seen this growth nationally in new RVers, if we want to call them that, but new campers. I'll go with that for lack of a better term. Yeah, are park models as such appealing to the new buyers?
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, of course, when you get in the hospitality business, there's a lot of choices. I mean, there's wagons and there's tents and TVs and yurts, and there's a lot of business. But park models, when it comes to the hospitality business, are just so much more in demand. They're safer. Obviously, if you get bad weather, you'd much rather be in a park model than a wagon. And I don't know exactly what remember exactly what your question was, but yeah, park models are in demand in the rental business big time.
Well, I'm going to assume that part of the reason why they're in demand is, besides being absolutely comfortable, they're much more stylish. It's not just a big box anymore.
Oh yeah, we're doing park models that are almost like little hotel suites, that you can put a big king bed in, and you got plenty of room to move around, and you have your little kitchen area, and we build park models that can sleep up to 10 or 12 people if you utilize the loft with a couple mattresses up there. And we just have a wide spectrum of floor plans and designs that are great for 2 snowbirds, or great for a family, of 5 or 6. And
if you're babysitting your daughter's dogs, you can throw them in there too.
Exactly, lots of room for dogs.
Park model RVs is how we've been instructed to refer to them in many cases. Is that what we're talking about? I mean, RVIA seal?
Yes. Yeah. Everything we build, we build to the ANSI A119.5, which is the code for park model RVs. Of course, we used to be recreational park trailer industry. I was actually president of that association when we joined RVIA back about 10 years ago. And I've been on the board of RVIA for the last 10 years. But, I always tell everybody, if you buy a park model, make sure it has an RVIA seal on it. That way, it meets the local, that it meets the codes for a park model RV.
But give us, if you would, an example of one of your more popular selling brands or brands models is what I mean to say.
It's all over the board. Obviously, I really think now that we're doing so much business with communities and campgrounds in the rental business, lofts are becoming a lot more popular. And of course, a loft is actually designated storage space, and by code, it cannot be over 60 inches at the tallest point. But for the most things, people put mattresses up there and give you that extra sleeping. So we have some floor plans that just have some really nice lofts in it that can get you that extra area. And then we have a couple floor plans that I really like that have a bedroom and then a little bunk room area. So if you don't want a loft, you can still sleep 6 with a sofa sleep or a bedroom and a bunk room. And then we got the bunk rooms with the loft that give you even more. So, and then we've got some really unique things that our company does in the park model business. We are putting exterior wood burning fireplaces on the porch. And people like Sun Community tell me they can get $100 more a night rental just because of that wood burning fireplace on the porch. So that's real popular for us. We have some floor plans that have some side porches. So, by code, the actual living area cannot be over 400 square feet, but, we can do porches front and rear and even on the side of the park model now and ship it as a 16 wide with the 12, park, basically a 12 wide park model that's on the frame. So we have a lot of really unique, really cool floor plans.
The products that generally, without getting in the weeds on it, but generally retail in what zone? What kind of retail prices?
Well, that's really gone up the last few years. I would say that the most park models retail in the 60 to 80 range now, 60 to 80,000. And in some of them even over 80,000 if they really deck them out really nice. And because we do so many things in our park models. I mean, you can do granite countertops and you can, all tape and textured walls. I mean, it's, they're just beautiful.
Far cry from just a few decades ago, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Our company kind of changed all that. When we opened Athens Park Homes back in 2004, we basically introduced tape and texture to the market. And of course, everybody felt like, you had to do vinyl walls or paneled walls. And we've, showed that you can ship these things a long way with the textured wall and you don't get the cracks, but it's more like a home. So,
one of my favorite things to do is to catch up with Dick and his display out at the Tampa show, the Florida RV Super Show. And I know that's your Florida models are out that way, your Florida built models. But some of the things that you see there, it's like just like the rooftop decks. Those are just love it. It's awesome stuff.
Yeah, we that's another thing that we did is we came up with a model that you basically took spiral staircase up to a rooftop deck. That's a very difficult build for some of our plants. So we're not doing it at all of our plants, but that we do have a couple plants that will still build those. But, we're always trying to come up with new ideas, new little, features and things we can advertise and sell. And we got a lot of plants. So we got a lot of people thinking about it and a lot of good engineers and minds. And so, as a company, I think we come up with a lot of great ideas.
Speaking of Tampa, it's coming around. Well, do we anticipate seeing you there?
Yep. In fact, on my desk here, I've got a layout of how we're going to have 3 park models there. We're going to have 2 of the Florida HUD park models, which that's a little bit confusing for some people. Florida is the only state that you can put a manufactured home, a HUD coated manufactured home in an RV park, but it has to be under 500 square feet. So in Florida, we have basically a HUD coated manufactured home that's 499 square feet, but you can still put it into an RV campground there. We're going to show 2 of those out of our Waycross, Georgia plant, which is our Scott built plant. And then we're going to build one out of our brand new Laurinburg, North Carolina plant. We're going to show their very first build out of that plant at this show. So
one last thing. And before I ask the question, I'll just let everyone know, I know it looks like Dick is either just getting home from or about ready to jump on his Harley with those glasses, but Dick has joined the growing crowd, like all of us, of cataract surgery. So those are just a little bit of a treatment.
Yeah, I have to wear these for a few days. So anyway.
All right. So thank you very much. It's a pleasure chatting with you, Dick. A guy I've known for some years. Rick, you want to sign off here?
I will. First of all, thanks again to the Dicor Products for sponsoring this RV Business Capital Talk series, and especially want to thank Dick for joining Sherm and I today. Dick, wonderful to run into you, and we'll see you next month down in sunny Florida.
All right. Looking forward to seeing you. You all have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Take care, man.
All right. Take care.